and welcome back to Max School Prep TV. In this video, we're going to be covering Chapter 1 of our two-part series all about midterms, finals, and AP exams, in which I'm going to be walking you through everything you need to know in order to ace those three different types of tests. If you do not know, my name is Mackenzie Warren. I'm the founder of Max School Prep, and I'm here to provide you with the blueprint on how to take advantage of your education. Before we go ahead and jump right into the content, I just want to give you a friendly reminder now to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss a beat. Alrighty, no more delay, it's time, let's get it. Alrighty, so the first thing that I want to touch on is what the heck even is a midterm and what the heck is a final exam. Typically, midterms are exams administered at the end of the fall semester in December, right before students are released for winter break, and they are cumulative tests that are meant to assess a student's knowledge of all the course content covered over the entire duration of that first semester in school. Finals, on the other hand, are pretty much the equivalent of midterms, but they're administered at the end of the spring semester, right before students are released for summer break. And similar to midterms, finals are also these cumulative tests that are meant to assess a student's knowledge of everything that was covered throughout the entire school year or everything that was covered in the course over the entire duration of the second semester. Now, when I was in high school, I had to take a midterm and a final exam for all of my courses every single year. And depending on the course and depending on the teacher, my midterm and final exam might be a multiple choice test, might incorporate some free response questions, or might even be an individual project or a group project. Whatever the case was, all my midterms happened over the course of an entire week and all my finals happened over the course of an entire week, and each test would take place over a 2-hour exam period for each class. Now, this probably goes without saying, but obviously if my midterm or final exam happened to be a project, I was usually given the assignment in advance of midterms or finals week, but it was still graded just like the rest of my midterms, just like the rest of my finals, and it still had the same grade impact on my semester average for the class. On that note of midterms and finals affecting my semester average, I did talk about that briefly in my video about GPAs. What I mentioned was that the only grades factored into my grade point average were my fall and semester averages, and each semester average for a class took into account 3 pivotal numbers. To put things into perspective for you, let's take my pre-AP Bio class from freshman year. 40% of my fall semester average in pre-AP Bio came from my first 9 weeks report card grade, another 40% came from my second 9 weeks report card grade, and 20% of my fall semester average in pre-AP Bio came from my grade on my midterm exam. Just to be thorough, I want to add that a similar pattern occurred during the spring semester average for pre-AP Bio, in which 40% of my spring semester average in pre-AP Bio came from my third 9 weeks report card grade, another 40% came from my fourth 9 weeks report card grade, and 20% of my spring semester average in pre-AP Bio came from my grade on the final exam for the class. I know we were just talking about pre-AP Bio, but I do want to add that same rule of thumb, that same 40%, 20% calculation was applied to all of my other semester averages in all of my other classes throughout my high school career. A final thing I want to add about my high school is that while my high school transcript did feature every single high school class that I ever took, it only showed the fall and spring semester averages for each of those courses. So not the final exam grade, not the midterm grade, and definitely not any of those individual report card grades for each 9-week cycle. Now, with all of that said, I want to acknowledge that yes, your school could definitely have a similar grading system to what my high school has. But there's also the possibility that your school has a grading system that works completely different. And so the bottom line is that one of the keys to acing your midterms and finals is being completely knowledgeable and informed about your individual school's grading system. Meaning that if you're not completely familiar with that grading system like the back of your hand, you should definitely start planning to schedule a meeting with your counselor in order to figure out a few things that I'm about to go into right now. Number 1, you want to figure out how midterms and final exams are going to be administered each year. Meaning, is there going to be an entire week dedicated to midterms in the fall semester and an entire week dedicated to finals in the spring semester? Also, how long is each midterm and final exam going to last? Is it going to be a 2-hour period like I experienced, or is it going to be something different? The second thing you're going to want to figure out is what numbers are even factored into your grade point average, and how do your midterm and final exam grades play a role into that? The reason you're going to want to do that is so that you can use the amazing weighted updated grade calculator to gain insight into the minimum grade you need to make on your midterm or the minimum grade you need to make on your final exam to have a certain semester average in a class or something of the like. And the third thing you're going to want to figure out is where exactly are midterms and final exam grades going to be recorded? Meaning, are they only going to be featured on your individual report cards, or will they also show up on your high school transcript, which is a document that you're going to eventually request to be sent out to different colleges and different scholarship organizations? So those are all the things you're going to want to figure out by talking to your school counselor, but I do want to add that when the opportunity presents itself, it's going to be in your best interest to ask your academic teachers about the format of their midterm exam and the format of their final exam. That way you can start getting yourself mentally prepared and know what to expect for the future well in advance. So switching gears a little bit, I want to go ahead and bring AP exams into the mix because in chapter 2 of this series, we're actually going to be discussing general tips for studying and acing your midterm exams, your final exams, and also your AP exams. If you do not know, advanced placement or AP classes are courses offered at various high schools in a wide array of subjects ranging from AP Calculus and AP Statistics to AP Physics to AP English and AP Spanish and all the way to AP European History and AP US History. Now, AP tests, on the other hand, are exams created and graded by the College Board that take place at the end of AP classes, usually in May, that are used to measure how much a student learned in the AP class that they just finished taking. Your individual performance on the AP exam will determine whether you deserve college credit for the AP class that you just took. Just to be thorough, I want to mention that AP exam scores range from 1 all the way to 5, with higher scores of 4 and 5 indicating that a student is qualified to earn college credit and is also eligible to place out of certain introductory classes in college. So long story short, it's really important to do well on AP exams. Now, with all of that said, I know I probably gave you an information overload, which is why we're going to go ahead and take advantage of this opportunity now to bring this series to a temporary pause. We will definitely wrap things up in chapter 2 of this series, but before I see you in the next video, I just want to give you a friendly reminder now to give this video a thumbs up if you didn't do it at the beginning, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and also hit the notification bell so that you can stay in the loop with anything and everything that I have to offer. And on that note, I will definitely see you very soon. Bye!